A long time ago, in a quiet little village nestled between green hills and golden fields, there lived two poor farmers. Though their homes were humble and their lands small, they both worked tirelessly from dawn to dusk, striving to provide for their families. Life was harsh, but they endured it with grit and sweat. Then one day, fate took them both. On the very same day, both farmers passed away. In the afterlife, they found themselves standing before the divine presence. God looked upon them with gentle eyes and asked a single question. Tell me, what was missing in your previous life? The first farmer stepped forward, bitterness written across his face. Oh God, he began, my life was full of misery. You gave me nothing but hardship. I worked like a beast in the fields every single day, yet I could barely feed my children. I never knew the comfort of fine clothes or the joy others seemed to live with. My hands were always empty. I lived no better than an animal. My life was nothing but suffering. God listened silently, then asked, and what is it that you wish for in your next life? Without hesitation, the man replied, please, God, let me never have to give anything to anyone again. I only want to receive. I want to take from others. Never give. God nodded. So be it. Your wish shall be granted. You may go. The man departed into his next life. Then God turned to the second farmer. And you? What was lacking in your life? The second farmer folded his hands with humility, his eyes filled with quiet gratitude. Oh Lord, he said softly, you gave me everything I needed, a loving family, a small patch of land, and the strength to earn an honest living. For that, I thank you. But there is one thing that weighs heavy on my soul. At times, hungry and thirsty strangers came to my door. I could offer them water, but I had no food. They would leave still hungry, and that regret has never left my heart. God's voice was calm. And what do you wish for in your next life? The farmer bowed deeply. Please, my Lord, grant me the ability to give. Let it be that no one ever leaves my home hungry or thirsty. I don't wish to take, I only want to share. And with that, God smiled. God listened to the second farmer's prayer and smiled kindly. You will receive what you have asked for. Go now. Your new life awaits. And so both souls were sent back to earth, reborn once again in the same quiet village where they had once toiled. They grew up together just as they had before, but this time their destinies were completely different. The first man, the one who had wished never to give, only to receive, was reborn as the village beggar. He wandered the dusty roads with an outstretched hand, receiving coins, food, and scraps from every passerby. He gave nothing to anyone. He didn't have to. His wish had been granted. Meanwhile, the second man, the one who had prayed to give selflessly and never turn away the hungry, was reborn as the wealthiest man in the village. He owned vast lands, overflowing granaries, and a heart even more abundant. His door was always open. Anyone who came, rich or poor, stranger or friend, was welcomed with warmth, food, and comfort. No one left his home with an empty stomach or an empty heart. In their new lives, the contrast between the two men was clear. One had everything to give. The other had only the ability to take. And this was the true lesson written into the fabric of their fates. If we look closely at our own lives, we'll see that gratitude is the hidden key to true abundance. The story of the two farmers is a reflection of life itself. Those who complain, who live in bitterness, may get exactly what they ask for, but find it empty. Meanwhile, those who are thankful for even the smallest blessings and who give without expectation are silently rewarded by the universe in ways far greater than wealth alone. Life presents two sides to every moment, positive and negative. But in the end, it is we who choose which side to live on. In the end, the difference between the two farmers came down to a single truth. One focused only on what he lacked, constantly counting his struggles. The other chose to be grateful for what he had and wished only to share his blessings with others. Their destinies in the next life were not accidents. They were shaped entirely by the choices they made, by their words, their thoughts, and most of all, their intentions. The law of the universe is simple and unchanging. What we give is what we receive. And more often than not, we receive it multiplied many times over. When we give love, compassion, and help to those around us, Life responds in kind, rewarding us not just with material blessings, but with peace, joy, and purpose. But when we live in selfishness, envy, or greed, we close the door to true happiness. Instead, we invite scarcity and sorrow into our lives. This universal principle explains why some are born into abundance and others into poverty, not as punishment or reward, but as the result of energy we've put into the world through our choices, both seen and unseen. So if you wish to live a rich, meaningful, and fulfilled life, then be a source of light. Help those in need. Lift the broken. Spread kindness like seeds carried by the wind. Because the goodness you send out into the world always finds its way back to you. Be the reason someone smiles. Be the reason someone finds hope again. And life will reward you in ways far beyond what you could ever imagine. In the end, true wealth is not what we keep, but what we give away. The seeds of kindness you plant today will bloom into a garden of blessings tomorrow.